Alright, guys, in this video, I'm talking about how the U.S. Army is fake. They are, and I believe that. I believe the U.S. Army is fake. And that this, I must make it sound more professional. To my knowledge, the U.S. Army and every army of the world, even the Mexican army, the Russian army, is fake. There is no way that they need an army to defend the countries from foreign invasions. We've already had a foreign invasion. That's Mexicans coming to this country, you know, and invading our soil and coming here to commit crimes like, you know, um, rape and child abuse, which includes hitting children with, either spanking or, you know, objects or like violent attacks against children. Mexicans are child abusers. They should be deported. Three, well, Mexicans just come here to, stalk people. They stalk good-looking people, and they gang stalk them. They do a group effort, and I'm gonna tell you just how many people in this country in the United States are involved in gang stalking individuals out on the street. That's 99.99% of the country is doing that against the minority. The majority is gang stalking the minority. Majority is gang stalking the minority. You know why? Because the minority has no power to do anything about it because they don't have the manpower to put anyone in jail or deport anyone. All they can do is apply knowledge from, you know, a religious organization that has its founder named as L. Ron Hubbard. I wouldn't recommend going into this organization's church, because they are involved in gang stalking as well. I myself am a Scientologist, so I do apply the knowledge that I learned from Scientology, but I do not trust the people that work there. And the best thing I can tell you is for you is to sit there and regard that if the majority of the world, like I said in my other videos, is Illuminati. 99.99% of the world is Illuminati. Why would there be some kind of foreign invasion on the U.S. or even China or Japan, North Korea, Russia? Why would they need nuclear missiles? They just have those things there to make the world seem unsafe for us on the news. They make reports. The police, they're fake as well. That's what I believe. I don't get sued like Alex Jones. But yeah, so yeah, you know, the police are fake. They don't really patrol for crime. All they do is harass people who see them. Usually people they traumatize by attacking them. They harass them. And they make the world seem unsafe for them. They try to trigger the subconscious mind into giving them implanted thoughts and implanted beliefs. They try to trigger the subconscious mind into giving those people those thoughts that aren't theirs because it's implanted in the subconscious. And well, yeah, it's just like it's just bizarre for the police to patrol and have your siren on all the time. I don't know who lives in neighborhoods where the sirens are always on at night or in the morning, the middle of the day. You hear the siren in the background, just sit there, police cars, ambulances, firefighters. You see them, going somewhere where, it's obvious that there's no crime happening. They're just pretending. I mean, there is crime happening everywhere. The crime is immigrants being in this country. They should be getting deported by the police and the army. If we had a U.S. Army, but we don't. We don't have a U.S. Army. You know, Unfortunately, real Americans like me are just trying to live their lives and avoid trouble from Mexicans. And foreigners. Well, which are Mexicans anyway. No, I basically have this concept where everyone from Russia or China or whatever country you want to call it besides the U.S. is Mexican. Those countries really named Mexico. They're just pretending that there's any other country but Mexico. And my concept is that because these people are abusive towards children. They post media on TV. The news. They come out with these speeches about how they're doing some weird thing against another country. They lie to children. That's psychological abuse against a child. That's child abuse. You can't psychologically abuse a child without being a child abuser. These people are just Mexicans. In their countries, it's legal to abuse children because they're the majority. They're the only ones who are going to stop it. Why would they want to stop it if they're the ones engaging in it in the first place? So it's like you got to realize that these countries are really Mexican countries. They sit there and have the same laws Mexico does in favor of child abuse because they know that they're the majority. They're the ones engaging in the crimes. Why would they stop themselves from committing those crimes? They wouldn't stop themselves. They don't have any self control. They're pigs. They're um well, yeah, they're pigs. So um to explain more about how the U.S. Army is fake, though, um let's see. One reason I would say the army is fake is because the U.S. Army is fake is because if it were real, it would deport Mexicans out of this country, and they wouldn't be claiming that they went to Iraq and fought a war where they died. The only reason people supposedly go to war is for money. They don't go there. They don't go there to fight for our rights. They don't go there to fight for the rights of Americans. They go there for money and to disinform the public of Americans that they're supposedly engaging in a war when they're not. They're not engaging in a war. The only war they're engaging is a psychological war against Americans like me, my brother, you know, possibly other people in this country or somewhere in the world, you know. But it's very real. It's very real that the army is engaging in a psychological operation, a psychological warfare operation. Where they try to get us to, you know, but they have a certain point of view of the world. It's called world view warfare. It's where the whole world, even Chinese army, Russian army, the whole world just engages in the psychological operation against people like me. Victims of brainwashing, and that's why I'm coming out about it now. Because as a victim, I'm coming to you as someone who can inform you, someone with experience with these kind of things, and someone who, even if I didn't have experience with these things, I would know about them, and I would be educating you about them, for me to, you know, be known by you guys as someone who supplies you with information that is valuable, you know, or at least talks about it and can have a conversation with you about it. If you want to comment and have a conversation with me about it, I'll talk to you. I'll comment back to your serious questions. And if you want to have a conversation with me on my comments section, you can do that. I'll engage you. I don't mind it. But yeah, hold on. But yeah, the point is that Russia, the United States Army, the Russian Army, the United States Army, the Mexican Army, Chinese Army, every army in the world is one army. They are one. They are one world army. I label them the Mexican Army because they have the same laws Mexico does about child abuse. It's legal to them. To them it's fair game because that's what the motivation is to abuse children so that they have the children turn out the way they want, and they can. Well, I'm not sure if they benefit from it. I don't know. I mean, I guess they benefit from it somehow. They have to have motivation. But there must be a motive for it. There must be a motive. So yeah, let me see. So yeah, the U.S. Army just engages in psychological warfare against real Americans like me. You know, and even if they didn't get engaged in that psychological warfare against me, I would still try to put this information out there for you to become more and more informed about this, or at least have a conversation. Have a conversation with your friends in your home. Talk to them about what I just said. If you find it cool that I'm talking about this, no one else is. No one else is saying the U.S. Army is fake. I believe that though. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say anything else about it. I don't want to get sued like Alex Jones did. Even though he was very informative, but in my opinion, I think he lied about some things. I think he lied about the fact that when he claimed that there was nutritional supplements that help against COVID. There's no such thing as COVID, bro. That's what I believe. Because I don't want to get sued. But there's no such thing as COVID. There's no such thing as COVID. Seriously, in my opinion, that's what I believe, and that's what I experienced. I never went through COVID. I didn't have chest pains. I didn't have hard breathing or headache or anything. I mean, when it was all going on, I didn't want to wear the mask, but it's just problematic with the whole mask thing. It's just really ridiculous having to tolerate that kind of nonsense from people at stores telling you to wear it because you can't buy anything from them. I pepper sprayed someone just for telling me to wear a mask. They tried to come out of the store. They tried to come out of the counter and push me out of the store, fight me. I don't know what they were trying to do, but they came rushing at me. And I pepper sprayed the guy in his face, because of that. I thought he was going to attack me. And I thought even if he was just going to push me, I still would have pepper sprayed him. And then one guy actually pepper sprayed him, but he came at me with a knife. And I had a knife too, and I came at him with a knife, but I was walking out of his laundromat, right? And I was walking out, right? I was walking away from it, but I saw his knife. When I looked behind me, I put my knife on and I turned around and I tried to defend myself with the knife, but I didn't swing at him. I just walked away. I tried walking backward, and nobody paid attention. Nobody cared. I mean, people were looking. I assume they knew that what was going on because of the fact that I was talking to him and telling him to leave me alone with his knife. That I didn't want to have to defend myself, but at the end, people know it. I'm pretty sure people knew what was going on. I know people knew what was going on. People knew what was going on. They just ignored what was happening, pretending that nothing was happening. It's because they're immigrants. They didn't want to call the cops. They're illegal citizens in the U.S. Why would they want to call the cops when they're the ones behind the gang stalking that leads to this kind of thing in the first place? And so, when he came out of the laundromat, he tried to stab me, but he tried to get close to me, but he didn't swing yet. But then as soon as he got close to me, I pepper sprayed him, and I was going to stab him if he didn't run away. And then he ran away like a coward after I stabbed him. After I pepper sprayed him, he ran away after I pepper sprayed him. I was going to stab him no matter what because he had the knife in his hand. I had legal authority to stab him, so I was going to stab him even if he was like blinded. I didn't care. But yeah, that's how hard it is. Getting Mexicans are. I'm not Mexican. I look Mexican because I'm tan, and I live in a Mexican-oriented household. But I'm not Mexican myself. I mean, I just look Mexican because I'm dark. Well, I'm kind of light skinned too, but in between. I'm in the sun a lot. I get tan. But yeah, so yeah, guys. That's the information I wanted to give you about the neighborhood, the army. That I've met people who claim they came from the army, wore the army uniform in front of me. They were just thugs, bro. They were just criminals, lowlifes, rapists, child molesters, pedophiles. I know those kind of people. Those people are in the U.S. Army. That's the kind of people that are in the U.S. Army. People who commit crimes like those in the U.S. and claim that they're standing here for our freedoms, when really they're just working for a paycheck. They're just working for their money. They don't care about our freedoms. That's the truth. These people who appear on TV claiming they got, mutilated and amputated. That's all fake, bro. That's all the news to give you a bad impression of the world, that it's, it's as harmful and as dangerous as they want you to believe it is when it's not. The world is a good place, bro. Trust me. I know that for a fact. You just gotta not attract trouble to yourself. You gotta believe in the law of attraction. As long as you make smart choices and inform yourself every day by watching my channel, you will attract good luck into your life. Just believe what I say, though. And like that church that I mentioned about L. Ron Hubbard, stay away from that place. If you order anything from them, order it online. Make sure to take the free courses online that help with informing yourself about how to, track good things into your life. It's called. I'm not going to talk about what it's called because, just look up L. Ron Hubbard and his religion should come up right there. I just want to mention it because it's a little controversial. I don't get my video taken down. I'm not sure if they take it down or not, but it's a little controversial. I mean, I'm not sure how they react to good publicity and bad publicity at the same time, But a lot of people talk about them in the negative way. So I don't think that they'll mind. But, the one thing I can tell you to look at it for is for mental health. That book actually helps you realize that your subconscious is what is leading you to believe that the world is a dangerous place because it's triggered by all these skits, these irrational behaviors that people have out on the street by, being homeless, shouting, threatening, making threats sometimes, or, appearing to be making threats. And, well, yeah. But I'm going to make this video a little shorter, guys. I don't want to make it too long. I'll try to finish up and summarize why I mentioned that the U.S. Army is fake. I just want to mention that yeah, the U.S. Army were real. They would deport Mexicans from this country. They would deport all foreigners from this country, and have nothing but Caucasian males in the country, and me because I'm not Mexican. That I look Mexican because I've been in the sun a lot. But I'm not. I speak Spanish too, though, but that's because I grew up with a Mexican people. I grew up with Mexican people my whole life. But yeah, guys, just believe what I say about the U.S. Army being fake. I believe it, though. I believe it. I'm just telling you to believe it so you can escape the Matrix. You want to take the red pill out of the Matrix. You do not want to stay asleep in the Matrix. You do not, want it to lead you to believing what it wants you to believe. That's not you wanting to believe what it wants you to believe. That's it triggering your subconscious mind and using whatever Herbert wrote in his mental health book, the first basic book that they offer in that religion, which is a red book. It's called The Modern Science of Mental Health. I just don't want to mention the first name of it, but it has a first name, but then it says The Modern Science of Mental Health. That teaches you how to do hypnosis, and hypnosis induced by physical pain, trauma, physical trauma. Not trauma, just physical trauma. I don't want to say your emotional, I don't want to say anything about your emotional traumas being like anything that implants subconscious thoughts in your mind, like hypnotic thoughts in your mind, implanted thoughts, implanted beliefs, or anything like that. I don't want to mention that. That's not something that I believe in. But yeah, just look up that book. It starts with a D and with an S. It's called DS. Well, I'm abbreviating it. DS, The Modern Science of Mental Health. If you don't find the name, I just want to mention it because I don't get my video taken down. I don't know how they react to that. Maybe I should call and ask and find out whether they take it down or not. But they might start asking me questions and say I'm acting suspicious for some reason. So yeah, and I'm planning to do some work. I'm planning to do some programs with them. To get, it's called the purification program. I'm planning to get the drugs and toxins out of my body and brain so that I can feel life clearly. I smoked marijuana once, and it wasn't a good choice. My subconscious led me to believing that I wanted to smoke it for a pack of cigarettes. I wasn't smoking it because I wanted to smoke it. I was smoking it because I wanted a pack of cigarettes. And in exchange, I had to smoke marijuana for it. And I did, for a friend. I wasn't a homeless person. I was like, really young. I was hanging out with a enemy of mine who I thought, who my subconscious led me to believing was my friend, But, for those of you who don't know what the subconscious is, the subconscious is that part of you that is described as a mind that records information and holds that information there to let it be triggered by anything around you and force it to be a hypnotic thought over you, implanted belief or a implanted thought, It can influence your thoughts, bro. Even if it doesn't influence your thoughts, it can give you information on how to handle your life itself, but it's gonna give you false, wrong information and it's not gonna help you. The subconscious mind is not a good thing. It's a bad thing. So just look up that book. So yeah, I'm gonna make this video 20 minutes and that's it because it's too long. But yeah, the U.S. Army is fake. All they do is brainwashing, mind control, government stalking. They're immigrants. If you think about it, even Caucasians or even brown skinned people, black people, Chinese people, Asian people, whatever you want to call them, Canadians, they all came from a foreign country. They're all immigrants. Why would these descendants of these immigrants, why would they want to do anything good here if that's where they came from, knowing that they're committing a crime by being here? Just like Donald Trump said, that the people who came from immigrants and had documentation given to them, U.S. citizenship given to them because of their parents coming here or their ancestors coming here to the United States. He said that they should have the document, U.S. citizenship taken away, and he was right about that. I believe in that. I believe that in that since I was a child. Since I was born, day one. I believed in that. I talked about it every day of my life for a long time. And I had a lot of enemies because of it, but I'm proud that I stood up for myself and the people I love. So if you want to do the same, just inform yourself, subscribe, like my video if you want to. You don't have to, but it will help for you to look at this information more as often as you can. And spread this information to the people you love. If you want to have a good conversation about something educational or even entertaining to talk about, because it's real and it's hype. It's all hype to me. To me, it motivates me to do the right thing in my life. That I know these things. And talking about these things motivates me to do the right thing in my life as well. It keeps me aware of what I want to fight against, and that's the government. From harassing me, you know, stalking me, setting me up, denying me justice. Um, but yeah. So okay, guys, I'm gonna make this just a couple more seconds longer. I know it's been 20 minutes already, but as long as it didn't get to 21 minutes. So yeah, just remember the U.S. Army is fake. All you do is create false information about fake wars that aren't going on. I'll probably just keep doing this. I guess I haven't explained completely what I was talking about, but yeah. So to explain, the U.S. Army was real. You know, their motive wouldn't be money. They get paid. They get paid to go to war. Supposedly go to war. They don't go to war. They just get paid for sitting there and being on a plane, on a helicopter, going wherever it is they go, for appearing on the WWE. They appeared on the WWE, guys. That was fake. The WWE knew that they weren't really having a war. All the wrestlers they knew that they weren't having a war. They were just why do you think they were there? There's no way they would have been there if they knew a real war was going on. There'd be chaos. They wouldn't be that peaceful. They were there entertaining you know, the US Army. And then, they were kicking back. They were doing it so publicly, right in our faces, just to laugh in our faces. For when we realized, and even at the time, in present time, they were doing it for us to be laughed at by the fact that we had a subconscious mind leading us to believe that there was really a war going on, and that they deserved entertainment. When they don't deserve entertainment, they're just fake. Just like the WWE is fake. Behind closed doors, they pretend to be enemies. Iraq and the U.S. Russia and the U.S. Ukraine and the U.S. But behind closed doors, they're really just friends. They are just having a fake hoax going on for us to feel negatively impacted by everything going on around us, when we should feel positively impacted by everything going around us, because we have a chance to reach for property of our own by buying it from stores, and we have the chance to do those things. We have the chance to be happy. So yeah, I'm trying to explain further. That's why I didn't want to cancel that at 21 minutes, guys. I'm sorry that I didn't keep my word. But yeah. So yeah, I'm really happy to some degree that I have some of the things I want in my life. I still want to move out. I still want to have children. I want to have things in my life. I mean, I've been kept from those things because of the government. They're stalking. I don't want to go into too much because that's not what this video is about. But it's the reason I'm mentioning it is to let you know that the government is fake. They pretend that there's gang wars out in the country, like gangs, Mexican gangs, black gangs, Chinese gangs, triads and stuff like that. Well, none of that stuff is going on, guys. It's all fake. They pretend that there's a war going on on the streets, where we can be potential targets. When we can't, there's no way that can happen, guys. No gang is ever going to target you unless you're doing something wrong, by attracting attention to yourself in a negative manner. You have to be ethical. You have to be ethical in your life. Don't make dangerous choices. You know that will attract negative attention to you. If you make dangerous choices, make dangerous choices by reaching for what you want. As soon as you want something, buy it. Don't don't hold back. Just buy it, and someday you'll realize that you're happy for what you did, or you'll realize it that same moment. But either way, you'll be happy. And that's why I mentioned that the U.S. Army is fake, because if it were real, it'll go into news stations and cancel the station and tear out all your equipment and confiscate it from them, from keep us from being brainwashed by the media, the news media, by the news media. They would keep that from happening to us, our children, us when we were children. They would have kept that from happening. They would have gone into schools deport every immigrant child, every immigrant parent that was there. They would have shut down the schools because the schools were brainwashed. They would have shut down the schools, the public schools or even the private schools because the schools were brainwashed to believe that wars ever happened in real life, but it never did. And we're also brainwashing schools to believe that we can get diabetes when we can't. Diabetes doesn't exist. Cancer doesn't exist. They would have kept us from being brainwashed. As the U.S. Army, they would have protected us when we were children, and they would have protected our children when we were, adults or even grown up, whatever. They would have protected our families, our American family members. They would have protected our American family members. Just think about it. Every person in almost not every person, but almost every person in the country, 99.99% of the world, and the people in the country as well, 99.99% of the country is immigrant descendants. Why would is there immigrants himself? Donald Trump said so. So he admitted he called himself an immigrant that should be deported. That's what he said about himself. He should have been. He should be deported. He should deport himself. That's what he should do. Deport himself and his whole family. Give me Trump Tower. I deserve that Trump Tower. Like, why do you have to have Trump Tower? Why can't I have Trump Tower? Why can't I call it Planet Vegeta? But yeah. So I'm trying to make this video as short as I can, guys. I just want to be informative and have this video make sense to you. If you don't like that, it took a long time to get to the subject of why the U.S. Army was fake. I'm sorry because I just don't really write notes or anything. I don't keep it organized the way I want to talk about it. And I'm trying to do a lot of L. Ron Hubbard based, courses to learn how to organize my and remember how to organize my videos. I want to do that. I want to make these videos better for you. But yeah, so just remember the U.S. Army is fake. The Mexican Army is fake. If there's one army that is real, I am going to say it's the Mexican Army. But the only thing they do is child abuse. That all they want to do is abuse children physically, sexually. Heck, they want to rape anyone that they can rape, bro. They don't care. Donald Trump was right when he called them rapists, criminals. They would be murders if they had a motive to murder anyone. They would. They could easily do that. They're old people, guys. They're older than I am. I'm only 33. I know Mexicans that are, possibly hundreds of years old. They're ancient. Have you seen how wrinkled some of them are? I'm just joking on that part, but the wrinkle part, not the age part, I'll get to the whole thing in other videos about why I believe that some people are ancient, thousands, hundreds, years old, But yeah. And, don't let what I said about people's age, from Mexican people's age, don't let that, negate you from this video. It'll make sense to you as you watch all my videos. I am a serious conspiracy. And to my knowledge, I'm a real conspiracy enthusiast. I really like to think about on my own about what conspiracies are out there, and I just share that with my YouTube audience. And a lot of you guys got to know me through my soda challenge where I was trying to do that, but it's too expensive on my SSI and food stamps. I can't afford soda. I could do like a Kool-Aid challenge, but drink Kool-Aid all day in front of you. But I don't think you'd like to watch that. A lot of you people have told me you wouldn't like to watch it. You were just there to watch me drink soda, so that kind of threw me away from the idea of making making the Kool-Aid challenge. I knew a lot of you guys said that you didn't want to watch that, but yeah, and it'd be time consuming for me. I have other things to do. I'm trying to stay busy now. Making videos. Just trying to learn, trying to motivate myself to do the right thing for myself. Trying to do everything right. Trying to be there for my loved ones, my brother. And other people that love me, like Jesus. And so yeah, guys, I'm gonna end this video because it started at 30 minutes. So just if you want to learn more about how the U.S. Army is fake, just watch all of my other videos. I'll explain and break it down in other videos as well. But this is the end for now.